Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion. This is the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube. We start with chapstick here. Instead of going into what the Crazy Troll Nation stands for, I will have that video linked below. But for now, I will show you what else we do here on this channel. This video in particular, we are going to do look number, where's my paper? Look number, oh, I left it at my desk. Damn it. I'll be right back. I do curse on my channel sometimes, as you see. This video in particular is another look, me recreating one of Nikki's looks with the Martine Cosmetics 699 palette. Of course, my look will look nothing like hers, but it should be nice because this is an awesome palette. Her video using this palette, I will link down below. She did 3 looks with this palette. However, one of her looks, she did one on one eye and one on the other, and that was her second look. So for me, I'm doing them all individual, so that's why I have 4 in the title, but for her video it's just 3. So this is my look number 3. On one eye she did a red tone and the other eye she did a gray tone, but using similar shades, just highlighting a different shade, the red or the gray. So we're going to do the red look is what I call it, and the 4th look for me recreating hers will be the gray look. So the palette looks like this. And I don't know why I'm doing this because you've seen it. Grungy goodness. Oh. And the shifts, if you haven't seen my other videos, look at this shade up here. This green. Look at that. This, is it this one? This shade in the middle. Look at that. This one right here, look at that. And this shade right here, you see that? You see that? Look at that. This palette is gorgeous. So I have brushes out. I have, I think, everything except lippy, because I'm always confused at the end, like, what are we going to do for lips? Everything on my face right now will be listed down below in the description box. What we're going to do right now is prime our eyes. I didn't have a brush to blend out the primer. With the Fenty eyeshadow primer, and I'm going to edit this part out of the video. We're going to blend this out with a flat angled concealer brush. And I'm going to edit this out of the video. I will say right now that my look will not look anything like her look, and I think I already said that because of several reasons. Our complexions are different. She's slightly orcish, but her complexion is more on the cooler side, the lighter side. I'm also slightly orcish, but I'm on the warmer side. Also, our eye shapes are different. And that plays a part in how shadows look and the placement. And so where she places just on the lid, I go up into my transition area with my lid colors. And also she does her transition shades, crease shades first. I do my lid shades first. And so all of that plays a role in what things will look like. And so I'm going to take, I have my brushes in order to be used, so hopefully I don't confuse myself. So we're going to take Freya, this shade here, this little dual chromie. Oh, look at that. That's going to go on the very inner corner. This is a Esam V27 brush. And that's just going to go right here on the inner corner. And she did this last because she does her lid shades after her transition and crease shades, and then she does her inner corner last. So we may or may not come back and apply more of this. But we're going to see what it looks like when everything else is said and done. Looking up here, I can see it. It looks green. Looking down here in the mirror, I don't see this shade at all. So down here, like the pinky shade is showing up. Well, it would show up, but it's blending in with my skin tone. So in this mirror down here, I cannot see this shadow at all unless I turn, and then I can see it's green right here. So that's kind of freaky because it's like I know it's there, but I cannot see it down there. So the next shade we're going to use, we're going to take Cornelia, this shade right here. I don't think that's a dual chrome. This one right here. I keep wanting to look at this one and this one. So Cornelia, this shade here on the remainder of our lid. And this is sparkly. I have not swatched these. I'll swatch them at the end. So hopefully I don't get a lot of fallout, and I don't think I will because the Fenty primer is a tacky primer and it does seem to have particles in it, which may or may not affect what it looks like on the lid. My eyes do not tolerate glitter or any type of fallout. So I'm hoping, I just felt some fallout like down here. So I'm hoping it's not bad, because if it gets in my eyes will tear and this will not be good. I did just get some in my eye. This also is why I placed my lid shades directly on top of the primer, because it adheres directly to the primer versus trying to place a lid shade on top of other shades. Because when you do your transition and crease shade first, depending on your eye shape, that crease shade and transition shade will also end up on your lid. And so putting my lid shades first, I do not have to be concerned with adding additional primer or glitter glue. And especially, as I said, because the Fenty primer is a tacky primer. That is pretty. That's nice. I'm going to edit out doing the other eye. We're going to take Annabelle, this matte black right here on the outer corner. From tapping off Cornelia, there is shadow all over my cloth down here. So that is a fallout shade. And just looking here, you can see some of the shadow around the outside of the pan. So that shade, be careful with it. Surprisingly, I looked in my mirror. I do not have fallout on my face, not that I can see. And I did get up close in the mirror. So that's a good thing, even though I did feel a few flakes going into my eye. This is a Makeup Forever Straight and Wavy number 234 brush. And again, this is Annabelle. Ooh. And she's going in the outer corner. And I have another shade in the outer corner too. I don't really know why. I only watched Nikki's video one time. And so it seems, looking at the placement, that she did layer. I'm not sweeping this because I don't want Cornelia to start flaking. So I'm just tapping as lightly as possible to get this on the outer corner. I am scared to blend, like to, my eyes cannot tolerate any type of glitter particles. We're going to take Ursula. This looks sparkly too. Oh my God. This is going to go in a crease. And so that's, no, the outer corner. So that's interesting. So we're going to use, this is a Scott Barnes number 63 brush. And Ursula is going to go on the outer corner. So maybe she did that for extra shine. This one does show up matte. Let me show you. So you saw how it looks sparkly, but then where I swipe the brush, the sparkles disappear. That I like, and it is showing up just matte black on my brush versus this one where it did show up sparkly and there is fallout everywhere. So I'm tapping this off, nothing is coming off, and we're going to press that on top of Annabelle. And we're going to lightly just take this right here. I'm going to take a smaller brush with Ursula just to get closer to my lower lash line, right down here. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Being careful because I don't want Cornelia to flake, to fall out. So I'm just very carefully filling in the gap. And that's why I took this little tiny brush. Now we're going to take Hildegard, this shade here, and this is our transition shade, and we're going to use a Scott Barnes number 61 brush. We're going to take a brown NYX retractable eyeliner, and this is going to go on our lower lash line as a base for shadows, because there's a few shadows that are going under here. Going to edit doing the same thing on the other eye. It looks janky, but that's okay because we are going to put shadow over top of it. Hildegard is the first one. We're going to take Hildegard and put that on our lower lash line, and again that's this one, the one we just put on our crease. Even though it's gray, it's like a lavender gray depending on how you look at it, but on my skin tone it's looking lavenderish to me, and I do say quite often I have issue with color perception sometimes, but this looks like a gray tone to me. I mean, a lavenderish tone to me. This is an Esam V31 brush. I'm using this one for down here versus a thinner pencil brush because this one places and blends at the same time because it is a fluffy liner brush. If you want a thin line, use a thin brush. If you want to buff as you apply, use a fluffier pencil brush or liner brush. This could be the look, but we're not done. We're going to take Serafina, this shade here, and that's going to go in the outer corner. This is a Esam T37 brush. There's a lot going on with this look. And I remember watching her do this, and I'm just like, that look is beautiful. But it was like a lot of steps and a lot of layering, which I normally don't do, which is why I like recreating other people's looks, because it does take me out of my comfort zone and I do things I wouldn't normally think to do. And then someone else, they did looks with this palette, Mara on Instagram. I will link her Instagram below. She does beautiful looks, and she did looks with this palette, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like what colors did you use? Because I'm thinking maybe I'll try and recreate it, and she layered quite a few colors too. So I'm like, ooh. So that's something I'm getting used to, the concept of, is layering colors. But sometimes the color will just take over, so it just kind of depends. I still don't want to sweep over Cornelia, but it looks like it needs blending, but I'm scared to do it because I don't want fallout. But we're going to lightly just pull that over, particularly up here in the transition area. The mirror down here looks like it needs blending, but up here I think it looks okay. All right, we're putting that brush down. What is next? Petula. This shade here is also going in the crease area. What? We're using another Scott Barnes number 61 brush. I'm looking like where? So I'm thinking on the line and not up to where the gray is. I don't know what this one is gonna do. So we're gonna just start like at the edge where this black is right here, and we're just going to run this. Oh, that's pretty. And I'm doing this very lightly because I don't know what it's gonna do. And as you see, I'm only going one way and not back and forth. So I'm just placing and then just lightly sweeping over. That is nice. And I didn't mean for it to cover all of that gray tone. What was that? Hildegard. Tapping off. We're going to do the same thing here. That's nice. And I am doing this very lightly, holding the brush almost all the way at the end. Placing it, just using the tip of the brush. Placing and then just turning my wrist for it to just go over. that is that. See how easy that was? Also, I liked when she did her looks, excuse me, with this palette, because she used every shade in the palette by the time she was done, which was amazing. And that's always my goal. I'm looking at my notes. That's always my goal when I get a new palette, is to use every shade in the palette at least 3 times to get a good feel for it. But doing these looks, some of them are being used more than 2 or 3 times, and then the other ones are being used once. So every shade in here is getting used with this series. So I'm really excited about that. And also, Petula. Yeah, there's a lot going on the lower lash line with this look. And so we're taking, this is a Fenty 220 Precision brush. And we're going to put that, this one is pointed. So we're trying to keep this closer to the lash line. Trying to, don't know if it's working. And I do have thinner pencil brushes. This is a nice smoky look. I like this. Thank you, Nikki. This is nice. And I keep forgetting I'm supposed to be editing out. I'm just having so much fun with this. This is nice. So what else goes where? And now Melinda, this brown shade here goes on the lower lash line. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. And that one is a brown. So we have red, grayish tone. Now we're putting a brown. I think this is the most blown out and smoked out I've ever done my lower lash line. And I am digging it though. And I see looks where the lower lash line is blown out, and I like those looks. And I keep meaning to try it for me, because also it hides your wrinkles a little bit. But I've just never done it. And now I'm like, this is nice. I need to do this more often. And I do like the look. I just never done it on myself. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, let me calm down. And then Petula on the look to buff out the lower lash line, but that's not a buff out shade, that red. Excuse me. I don't know if I want to buff with that, because I'm not going to buff with that. Because then it'll just make it look more blown out and red, which may make me look like somebody punching me in the eye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Hildegard again, this shade here. This is a Fenty 210 blending brush, and I'm going to just tap straight in. I'm going to tap off, and we're going to use that to just buff. And so you see how that came down here? This would be red if I would have went back in with Petula, and that I didn't want, because that would have looked like somebody punched me in the eye. And it may not have if I had used thinner pencil brushes, thinner liner brushes, to put those, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 shades under here. This being the 5th one. Oh my gosh. I like this. Like, for real, for real. So now we're going to go back, the first brush that we used, and we're going to go back into Freya, this shade here. Oh, now it's not going to do it. Okay, here we go. So you got the green and then the pink. This one down here. So we're going to add that back. I'm coating both sides of the brush, and I'm tapping off. So we're going to put that up here, and we're going to wrap it underneath down here. Yeah, coating both sides of the brush again. Putting that, and we're sweeping up some, and then wrapping around our tear duct area. So we're going up some, and then down here I cannot see it because it's peachy, which is blending in with my skin tone, but when I look up here I can see it, so that's why I'm putting it, that's why I'm looking up here to put this under here, because I can see it up here, and down here I cannot. But I can see the green in the mirror down here. Oh, I'm liking it. We're going to take that blending brush again. No shadow, no additional shadow. And we're just going to buff that. Wow. This is nice. This is exciting. We're going to take that same brown liner and put that on our lower waterline. It's not bothering me to not do a black because everything else is so dark already anyway. I'm not going to line my upper rims. I kind of don't even want to do liner because I'm just loving how this is looking. And so I'm not going to do liner. I'm going to just put on mascara. I want to use some more of the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk because I don't remember when I opened it. It's a little sample something or other. So we're just going to use this one for our top and bottom lashes. I'm going to edit the rest of this out of the video. I am digging this. What are we going to do for lips? The first thing we're going to do for lips, this is always the question. The first thing we're going to do is wipe off some chapstick. What color do we want to use? A black would be nice. I did something the other day. I did a black lip liner, lined and filled in my lips, and I put this purple gloss on top of it. That was beautiful. I think I'm going to do that again, even though like I want to do something different. But that was just so gorgeous, and so I'm going to do it again. This is a NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in Alien. It is black. I'm going to edit this out of the video. I kind of want to do an experiment because I used the gloss, but I was saying how this gloss on my lips is almost the same shade as this one, except this one just looks glossy. But the colors themselves look almost identical, if not identical, except one is glossy and one is matte on my lips because of the natural pigment tones in my lips. And so I kind of want to do one on one half and one on the other to see if it looks the same on my lips over this black base, which probably isn't because my lips do not have a black base. But I think I'm going to do that just because. And in that video, I did do swatches and they did look different. And I'm like, on my lips, they look the same. So both of these are MAC products. This one is Grand Illusion Glossy Liquid Lip Color, and this is Queen's Violet, so that's going to go on this side. This one is MAC's Retro Matte Liquid Lip Color in Atomized. So I'm going to hold this one over here because we're going to do that one. This was beautiful. What? Look. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Look at that. So that's over here. I'm gonna sit that down. You heard it. Set it down. The matte one. And then this still looks different. Just call me crazy, which I am the crazy troll nation, but. And so now, see, yeah, it looks different. Maybe it was my bathroom lighting. Because I put this on in the bathroom. Which is really bright though, so that's weird. Maybe it blew out the color. Because yeah, it looks different. Because I was going to declutter the gloss thinking, you know, they're the same except one is glossy. But it looked the same. So is that really still much of a difference? So this is, yeah, more purpley and glossy. This is more of like a burgundy purple matte. But if I was outside, you would just think the sun was beaming on this side of my lips. So we're going to take the matte. Put that over here. That looked like fire though. Not like real fire, but it looked nice with that gloss, didn't it? This looks nice too. That gloss is still shining through. So I'm gonna take the gloss. Now I'm layering glosses and lipsticks. Who am I? It's Nikki's fault. First layering eyeshadows, now layering lipsticks and lip glosses. This is the finished look. Gorgeous. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of this troll. Yes, honey. Let me go. You will see me in the next video. Thanks a lot. Swatches. Yeah, so I buffed Petula under my lower lash line. This side is janky, I know. But what do you think? I think I like it better before. I do think this is definitely more vampy, but I'm not sure. I like that it ties in with Petula up here, but I think I'm liking it better before I did that. Let me know what you think. Let me know. I think it ties in more with the lip because of the tone, even though I don't like the matchy thing always. But anyway, let me know what you think. And I'm really going to go this time. You won't see me again as an extension of this video. I know I have a tendency to do that, and I apologize. But yeah, let me know. You like it better this way or before I put the red underneath? Yeah, help a troll out. Thanks.